Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios and brought to you by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda Podcast for a Friday, the 14th of June.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Said I wasn't going to talk about it on the podcast, but we're going to talk about it. There's been a spate of engagements in my friend group recently.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And it has piled on more and more heat, obviously, on me.
Yep.
Every time I go away somewhere on holiday and I come back in,
Yep.
Kate and Claire from Radio Hodaki sit out in the office. It's a waterboarding. It's an absolute grilling.
Yeah.
And my question to you before the podcast was, what percentage of men do you think propose purely because of the amount of people that wound them about when are you going to propose?
83%.
I think it's higher.
You think it's higher?
I think it might be higher.
Yeah, there's quite a few of you at work, actually. There's Adam, there's Joe.
Yeah.
Everyone's on a lot of heat. They're kind of in your 30s. You've been in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
There is a lot of pressure. And you know why? That's why men invented the engagement.
Right.
Because it is like a force field of fuck off, okay? Stop asking, we're engaged. And then you just don't set a wedding date.
Right.
Yeah, so there's no real commitment to an engagement apart from maybe a ring, but
Yeah.
you get that from grandma.
Yes.
Yeah, and then
so that doesn't cost you anything.
It doesn't cost you anything, and then you keep the wolves at bay, and then but then I suppose the next waterboarding is when's the wedding, and you're like, oh, we're just saving up for it.
Yeah.
Just until we can afford it.
Oh, we're looking at a date next January. We'll let you know.
Yeah, we're just kind of like and
you roll that over.
That's better than the whole when you're getting married.
It is only. I have never had a male friend of mine say, "Oh, when are you guys going to get married?" Never once. The only time was when my mate proposed to his missus just about 6 months ago, and then immediately he was just like, when are you going to do it?
All right.
Yeah.
So he did that as a play just to make you uncomfortable.
I was like, you've just proposed to her so that you could do this to me. And he goes, yeah.
Oh, well, good on him. At least he's made a game of it.
It's 100% I have.
But it's still only a proposal.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just, it's you know, you could even, I don't know. You don't even need, the ring doesn't need to be that special. I mean, the girls make a big deal of it. It has to be a diamond, but can't afford a diamond. But I can't afford a diamond, but my love for you is priceless. That kind of shit.
Lab diamonds, apparently.
Lab diamonds.
Yeah, ethical.
Sustainable.
Yeah.
That is a great call.
Yeah.
Here is a ring. It's sustainable. It's not a diamond, but it's a sustainable diamond.
Looks, you can't tell the difference between this and a real diamond.
Yeah.
And there's no blood on your hands.
Correct.
Literally.
Yeah.
Through a blood diamond.
Oh, well, good luck with that then.
For the longest time, I've always said, I don't, like, if it didn't exist, I don't think we would invent it. Oh, the wedding as it is at the moment. Because when you look at like a catering bill, say if it's a catering bill for a birthday party, say it's whatever, $100, just as a round number. Now you say it's a catering bill for a wedding, $200.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a scam.
Admittedly, I spent 7 years overseas.
Yeah.
Got engaged overseas and got married at home while I was still working overseas. So for me, it was a great party. Came home, got 120 mates, and we just ripped a new one.
Yeah.
Got a marquee, stayed up all night.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Had a party, and then I could fly straight out of there again.
Oh, you left and went back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
right.
And we paid for it with oil money.
Yes, right.
So I thought it was a great time, and it was good to catch up with a whole lot of friends you hadn't seen in ages.
Blood on your hands.
But I imagine, who hasn't? But I imagine if you're living here and you're seeing your friends all the time, you're like, why would I spend a couple of $100 on you shithead, when you're going to come and just ruin my wedding and drink all my piss?
Yeah. I think that's why people have destination weddings.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's just to weed out the people who are like, sorry, I just don't think I'll be able to make it. It's like, thank God. I really didn't want you there. That's why it's in Fiji.
I did have one colleague who still works here, actually, who came to my wedding, and he came up to me and he's like, I love drinking your free piss, Lane. And he was like getting into it. And then I went to his wedding. I went to his wedding and I had all these craft beers, and I was like, hey, and I just tipped it out in front of him. And I was like, it was getting a bit warm. Might get another one. And you could see him go, motherfucker.
And in the back of his head, he's going, we've budgeted for 4 per person.
I know. For every 2, I tipped out 2. And I was just like, fuck you, asshole.
Yeah. As I just don't think if it didn't exist, we wouldn't be like if it didn't exist and your mate rung you and was just like, hey, can you, at great expense to yourself, could you fly to this place? And you're like, why? I'm throwing a massive party. Oh, yeah, what's it for? Pretty into banging this chick at the moment, eh? I'm like, okay, and you need us to be there? Why is that? You know? It's like, I want to get the government involved.
Yeah.
Luxon needs to know about this.
Yeah, everyone needs to know.
Everyone needs to know. And we gloss over what is actually happening there. And then they're all like, yeah, so after this, we're going to try for a baby. It's like, oh, so more banging? This is what we and you've brought your mum here.
Well, look, it is a celebration to make aware to your father-in-law that you're banging her daughter. That's what it is. It's a public announcement that I'm having sex with your daughter. Yeah. That's pretty much what it is. And it's an elaborate way of doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm comfortable with that as opposed to just telling him to his face.
It's a huge statement. It is a huge statement. It's like, by the way, you're paying for it. So anyway, I'm still waiting for a dowry, and until I receive that, I shan't be. Until I receive at least 6 head of Hereford cattle up my driveway.
Herefords, they're cattle of choice.
Yeah. Just they put weight on.
Hey, my name is G Lane, and I've been supporting the Black Caps since. Well, seriously, been supporting the Black Caps since 1991. And yesterday, they hurt me again. We've been through a lot. I mean, it's happened so many times that, and I've got back with them, and we've had great times. 2 or 3 years we've been together, and it was great times. And then they slip back into their old ways, and they hurt me. And then they come back with some champagne, and they come back with some flowers and new promises, and and they're different, and they say they're different, and they are for a while.
But then
they hurt me again.
Well, thank you for sharing your story, G Lane. My name is Manaia Stewart, and yesterday I was hurt again.
It's okay, man. It's not your fault.
I just keep thinking back to the times when we won the World Test Championship, and I can't get past the fact that it was so good.
I know.
At that time, and why can't it be the same again?
It's not your fault.
It could just be good again the way that it was. We were so great together. We were so good together, and I saw a future for us. If we could just get past these kind of things.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more I've got in me. I don't know how much more hurt I've got in me.
Thanks for sharing, man. Love you, man. Love you. It's okay. It's okay.
I need to order my shirt.
Well, I've got mine on today.
You do?
I actually put it on last. I slept in it. I slept in my Black Cap supporters support
at the cricket refuge.
So much so we've had to order another couple of hundy. We sold 100 yesterday on the broadcast. If you want to get one, text shop to 3236. People go, you're making money out of it. Trust me, no one's making money out of selling t-shirts. Okay.
Yeah.
It's basically covering the cost, but what it is, it's like a badge, and people have come up and hugged me.
Yeah.
In the street, and they go, it's okay, man. And don't even need to talk. They just bring you in and go, it's okay. And then you go, thanks, man.
Yeah.
And you walk away again. And it's a beautiful moment.
I want the audience to know we take no pleasure in this.
No.
Because someone came over to our desk this morning and said, I love the Black Cap supporters support group. It's such a good idea. You guys are this is brilliant. And I was like, I wish it didn't exist. I wish we didn't have to. I'd gladly give you a t-shirt, but
yeah.
This is something that shouldn't have to exist.
No, I know, but it has for a while now. It's existed for about close on maybe 15 years.
What went wrong? What went wrong yesterday?
Oh my God, I don't know. Like
it was just a fizzle out, wasn't it?
We gave away the last 2 overs, 37 runs and 12 balls. They were 9 down, and they scored 37 runs in 12 balls. Old Ken Rutherford. He won it for them because
he split the atom.
He split the atom. He captained New Zealand in cricket. He had a son who also played cricket. But it was just so disappointing to have them 9 down. We had them 7 for 76 in like the 15th over. And then they were 9 down for 100, and we couldn't finish them off. And everyone's saying, oh, you got your sums wrong with the bowling. Kane Williamson didn't. He brought back Trent Bolt and Tim Southey there to finish these fuckers off.
Yeah.
And they were 9 down, and we should have. But Daryl Mitchell and Mitchell sat and bowled the last 2 overs, and they got dispatched for 37.
That is absurd.
So that's what lost us the game. And then we came out. Finn Allen had a good start. He got 20-odd. But we just the pressure was on. It was too much pressure to score at fucking 10, 12 and over from there.
Yeah.
And we fizzled out. The score card looks a lot better than what it was because Mitchell Sattner hit 3 sixes in the last over, which meant nothing.
Yeah.
So there was 18 runs there. They were never going to win it. They needed like 40 off the last over to win, and he hit 3 sixes in it. Looks closer than it was. In fact, it was a hiding. We lost too many regular wickets. People just bowl well against us for some reason. I don't understand it. We just keep losing wickets.
Yeah, and I had that thing that I always have when I'm watching cricket, particularly in T20, when you're watching us obliterate someone with the ball.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is awesome. But are they about to do this to us as well? And sure enough, yeah, they were.
We did bowl well, though.
Yeah.
Have them 7 down for 70 odd. It was like, yes, okay, this is us. We're back in this World Cup. And then that fucking Rutherford innings at the end, he scored 68 off 37 balls. He took it away from us.
But even then, didn't you think 140 was chaseable?
140, I mean, it's 150 to win.
Oh, 150, yeah.
The average on that pitch is 160, I think, in T20s. Yeah, 150 is chaseable, but we shouldn't have been chasing that. We should have been chasing 100, 110 at the most.
Yeah.
And we would have got that. And that's
did.
what was gutting. It was like, fuck, just that little moment, those 12 balls, it was like, fuck.
Yeah. So the top 2 teams from each pool go through. And because we lost our first game against, remind me?
Afghanistan. Did you make me do that on purpose?
Afghanistan and
West Indies.
The Windies.
So basically,
are at the top.
Yeah, so both West Indies and Afghanistan are unbeaten right now.
Yes.
And both of them have one more game remaining against Papua New Guinea or Uganda or whatever.
Yes. So our only hope is they lose. They have to both lose those games.
Yes.
We have to lose win next 2 games.
Yes, by heaps.
By heaps.
Which we should against Uganda and Papua New Guinea. We should shellac them.
Yeah.
Like England did to, who'd they mow this morning for 76?
I didn't see.
So
Ireland.
No, it wasn't Ireland. It was Scotland, I think. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Scotland. It was someone else. Anyway, we need to have, but
Equatorial Guinea.
the chances are very, very slim.
No, it's over.
It's over. It is over. Even
2 games in.
I think even if Afghanistan drop a game, they've got us on run rate.
Yeah.
So we're done.
And they're not going to drop a game.
We're brown bread.
Afghanistan.
We're done.
The headlines have all been, and even Gary Stead to a degree kind of addressed that there weren't enough warm-up games. I don't think a warm-up game would have changed.
I think condition. I think it does. Preparation. I mean, you look at we've got a terrible record in build-up. So remember when our tour to Australia for the classic Boxing Day test, we went to Australia and played no warm-ups.
Yeah.
And we got absolutely pounded in Perth. And with no warm-ups, decided not to do any warm-ups in Australian conditions.
Stick down
now
in Dallas.
you do have to go over there and play some games.
Right, to get used to the pitch, the conditions.
Totally.
Yeah.
You can't just go on the nets. You've got to be out in the middle playing cricket.
Yeah.
That's why every other team in the competition played warm-ups.
Right, except for us.
Because our excuse was we didn't have the full squad together. Fuck that.
Well,
if you've got 8 players, roll the 8 players out. Play last man stands.
Steady, but get out there. Lace them up.
And he came out and said that none were on offer. And the ICC don't come out much. And if you listen to the BYC podcast, they tail into this.
Yeah.
ICC never usually come out with any sort of statement around that. And they came out and said, that's bullshit. You got offered warm-ups and you declined them.
Because we didn't have all our players together.
Yeah.
Which, also, supplementary question, why didn't we have all of our players together? You know?
Anyway, so I can't think of a worse World Cup campaign than this. I forever remember us making either the playoffs or quarterfinals, semi-finals at least.
Yeah.
And making the next round, we always have.
Yeah.
But we're nowhere near it.
No. It was losing to Afghanistan. I don't think it hurt as much as it should have because we still had the Windies game that could have kept us in it. And I think if it was the other way around, we would have been furious about the Afghan loss. This is a country that has been war-torn for many decades
People
now.
can't tour there.
No.
They've got no home ground.
If you're a woman, you can't go to school.
Correct. It is literally run by the Taliban.
What do we need to take away from the Taliban to improve our cricketing stocks?
Well, they got something obviously we don't, and they know how to ask for a warm-up.
And demand a warm-up.
Yeah.
There had been a lot of terrorist activity in the lead up to this World Cup as well. I'm not drawing a line between the two. I'm just saying that is what had happened. Also, fear is a great motivator. And for a lot of those guys in that Afghanistan team, they'd be very motivated.
Yeah.
You'd have to think.
Well, there's a reason why at this World Cup there's spider cams and not drones.
Which was part of the drones are elsewhere. Was part of the drama yesterday when that catch had to get reviewed over and over and over again because allegedly it hit one of the wires of the spider cam.
Yeah, and if it hits the wires of the spider cam or it hits the roof or any sort of structure, it's a dead ball.
Yeah.
And that would have ripped our undies completely because that was the second or third wicket.
Yeah, I guess in the end it didn't matter. But
No,
so how, if you're one of the players, do you get up for Papua New Guinea or Uganda at stupid o'clock? I don't know.
Well, Uganda's is tomorrow at 12:30 and
lunchtime.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm calling that with Jason Hoyt, and I think Matt Heath's coming in to do that as well. The best thing they can do is make it a short one. Bowl Uganda out for 50, get it in 2 overs, and just save us the pain. Because if they make it a game and make it difficult, that's going to be even harder.
It's going to be harder to commentate.
Yeah. Well, just as general supporters, I want them to grab Uganda, strip them naked, and spank their little asses.
Yeah, right.
Hard. Just to prove a point. Because if they go out there and go, oh, look, they're up and coming nation, they're a plucky side, go and say you're going to waste them.
So you are calling for a Ugandan massacre tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Clip that. All right, let's take a break before we commit any other international atrocities. Come back and whip around the weekend sporting action. Super Rugby semi-finals kick off tonight. Blues versus Brumbies. We'll be commentating that live on Sky Sport 9. Myself and Matt Ward.
And iHeartRadio, don't forget.
And iHeartRadio.
Free on iHeartRadio.
Free on iHeartRadio. For whatever reason you've ended up in bed early, I quite like chucking it on the old iHeartRadio. Fall asleep.
Or you're in the car or wherever.
Wherever you are.
On the road.
We won't hold it against you. What is your prediction for this game? It feels to me like the Blues are going to cruise through.
Yes.
Are we underestimating the Brumbies?
I think everyone always underestimates the Brumbies for some reason.
Yeah.
But they did suck the last time they came to Eden Park in round robin. Weather is not looking good. Weather is looking atrocious.
And you think that plays into the Brumbies?
Yes, I do. I don't know why. I think purely because the Blues are the favourites. And anytime there's any sort of adverse conditions or circumstances, it always usually
does not favour the Blues.
Correct, or the favourites.
Yeah.
So that's why, because I imagine the Blues want to come out, send a message, win by fucking 30 points.
Yeah.
But when it's pissing with rain, they can't do that.
Yes.
However, I still think they're too good for the Brumbies. I was hoping for a high-scoring 45-28 kind of score.
Yeah.
But I'm picking it's going to be like a 23-12.
Yeah, right.
Bit turgid in the wet, but I think the Blues will eventually grind them down.
Yeah, and through into their chance to win their first legitimate title since 2003. On the other side of the draw on the Saturday night, you'll be commentating this one. It's Chiefs.
Arvo, remember?
Oh, Arvo. Yeah, this keeps getting me.
Yeah, 4:30.
4:30 afternoon game. It is Chiefs versus Canes. I think that the winner of Super Rugby comes out of the semi-final, but I don't know who it is.
Yeah, it's a tight one because my head says the Canes. My heart obviously says the Chiefs mana.
Yeah.
But going on form last week, it's got to be the Chiefs. But saying that the Chiefs might get the blowback of the Canes' performance last week, which that first half was the worst half of rugby I've seen the Canes play in a long time.
Yeah.
And they'll know that.
Yeah.
And they'll want to come out hissing on Saturday afternoon. So that might blow back on the Chiefs. However, Tim Horan said that first 20 minutes at FML Stadium against Queensland was the best 20 minutes of rugby he can remember.
Yeah,
from
right.
the Chiefs in terms of how clinical they were. They were up 21 points to nil and within 20. So I don't know. It's funny because if they can carry that form through, it's going to be a fucking awesome game.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an awesome game because I think both teams can smell it.
Yeah.
You know, the Chiefs came agonisingly close last year, and then the Canes have kind of almost come out of nowhere this year. You know, like they've been great from the start of the season, but I don't think anyone predicted them to have the season that they've had.
Yeah.
So they'll be looking at it going, fuck, here's our chance. This is the first chance in like 8 years that we've had to really have a crack here.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be an absolute barnstormer on Saturday afternoon.
I can't wait. And myself and McConey are doing that. So if you're a Chiefs fan, get on to Sky Sport 9 or iHeartRadio. If you're a Hurricanes fan, get on it and then abuse us via the text because what invariably happens is people love it's almost a hate watch because then
Yeah.
the Chiefs lose and the text machine's full of thousands of abuse saying the wheels are falling off the money bus, shove the money bus up your ass.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So look, and we happily welcome that. Well, McConey doesn't. He gets a bit twitchy on the text machine when that happens.
It gets raw.
Yeah.
And then straight after that, the Warriors are playing. Myself and Keezy will be commentating that one. What a massive Saturday for the ACC and for sports fans.
Super Saturday. And like was said in the podcast on Tuesday, thank the Lord that common sense has prevailed. You can watch all of that on Sky Sport 9 with no interruptions, no crossover. You don't have to choose between the two mistresses.
Yeah.
You can sleep with them all.
Yeah. Back to back to back. So from 12:30 through until about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
You're sussed on Saturday.
Yeah.
On the ACC. In the NBA yesterday, Boston went up 3-0. This
Yeah,
has
I
been
saw
a
that.
little bit of a disappointing series. I think what they've figured out is every other team freaks out and just double teams Luka Doncic.
Yeah, he looks broken, man.
Yeah.
He looks broken. His knees look like they're about to give way. Every time he's coming back to court, he's like lumbering back. It's tough to watch.
Well, he's fat. And and he's been
Sorry, Kate Moss.
He's been fat his entire career, and it hasn't mattered because he's still scoring 50 points and 10 rebounds, 10 assists. But I think as a series drags on, it can, everyone on the other team is six-packed up.
Yeah,
and I think that does count for something.
Yeah, he does look. He looks like a broken man. About the third quarter,
Yeah.
he looks all over the shop.
He's one of the toughest players to watch because he bitches constantly to the refs. It just doesn't stop. He's whinging the entire time. If he was in your social basketball team, you'd probably kick him out, or you'd set up a new team that didn't have him in it. But 3-0, and I know I always say, bet on the team who's facing elimination if the other team isn't. I don't know. I think this could be a sweep.
And is it today?
No, it's not
Tomorrow.
today. It is.
It's in
tomorrow.
It's in Dallas, back in Dallas. It's 2-2, isn't it?
Yes,
You
it's
go
2-2. So this is in Dallas. The TAB can't split them. It's $1.90 for each. So they don't know who's going to win. I don't know if there's much money to be made in that game. The only bet I was looking at that I might get on would be Luka Doncic leading scorer in that game.
Also, is it? I'd go the Mavs because I think Boston want to win it at home.
Oh, yeah.
So, not that they're going to throw the game,
No.
but I think they may pump the brakes because basketball's kind of like that. They don't mind throwing a game if it's a 7-game series,
Yeah.
and then go back to Boston and then win it at Boston because I reckon there's something in
Winning at
winning a
home.
title at home.
Yeah, when LeBron won that one with the Cleveland Cavaliers, they won it on the road against Golden State. And so they won, and obviously no one was there to celebrate with them. They had to fly back to fucking Cleveland, of all places. They stopped off in Las Vegas, and they partied there.
Nice.
Which the fans in Cleveland didn't really appreciate. But you're right, there is something about it. And it's not that they're going to go out and throw the game.
No.
It's that if they're down by 10 points, they'll be like, you know what, fuck it, we'll come back and win the next one.
Yeah, and they'll rest all the players, bench all the players, just let everyone rest up, and then just hump them at home.
Yeah.
So I'd stick, not my house,
No.
but if I was a betting man, I would go for the Mavs just to jag one.
Yeah, $1.90. I'd want a little bit more. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
not good, not great eating.
It's not great eating. The US Open as well is teed off this morning, our time. Ryan Fox has finished his first round and he carded a 3-over, which isn't great, but it hasn't been great for anyone. Everyone's been blowing up. I think Justin Rose is tied with him, and he's a shot ahead of Tiger.
What's the predicted cut? Do you know? Is it?
I haven't seen, but it's not looking good for him, for Ryan Fox. But like I said, it's not looking good for anyone. Patrick Cantlay is leading at the moment. He's 5 under. Rory McIlroy is tied for third at 3 under. And so I think for our agenda hunch this week, we should get on the US Open. Something to follow across the weekend.
Well, definitely not Rory because he's not a closer.
Well, I've got
he's proven he can't close his divorce, and he's not going to close the US Open.
he is the shortest odds at $5
Nah.
for outright winner. You don't like
Don't
$5
like him.
for it?
Nah. Where's Scheffler sitting on the table?
Scotty Scheffler is somewhere inside the top 10 at the moment.
DeChambeau, I don't mind.
I don't mind DeChambeau either.
Can we go DeChambeau, Scheffler, top 5?
No, because it's kicked off, you can only get on the outright winner at the moment. So we're going to have to pick an outright winner for our agenda hunch this week. Ludwig Aberg, who has been a real revelation in 2024, he is second at the time of recording.
How about then? Because we've got a bit of bonus cash there, haven't we? How about we Can we spread it? Can we put Fiddy on Scheffler and Fiddy on Olberg?
Oh, I feel like
Or you want to go all in? What's your hunch?
I don't want splinters in my ass. I want to be on one side of the fence or the other.
So
I think we go. Geez, is it boring to bet on Scheffler?
It is a little bit missionary, but
But he is paying $6.
yeah, and that's good eating. And they've got 2 more rounds to go.
If we're saying it's boring to bet on a guy because we think he's going to win, but he's also getting $6, that seems like a good punt then, doesn't it?
Yeah, anytime Scheffler's playing 6, how far off the lead is he?
Again, I don't have the score directly in front of
Before
me.
we crushed it, he's like 10 over or anything.
Let me
He
bring
must
up-
be in the conversation if he's $6 because
He's always in the
Rory's only
conversation.
5 and he's coming third.
Rory is tied for third with Bryson DeChambeau. They are 3 under. Then Tony Finau. We go back to he may not have teed off yet. I can't see him on there, but
What about Finau?
Scheffler's +1. That's why he's at $6.
Ah, okay. So he's got a bit of catching up to do, but he's still in the conversation.
Through 15 holes at the time of recording this, he is +1. He's behind John Day. He's behind Cam Smith. He's behind the homie Max Homer. Again, everyone's having a shocker so far on this course at the US Open.
Well, what about Big T-Bone?
Tony Finau, I mean,
I know we're doing just some live
yeah,
teaching here. This is fine.
You really like.
Sorry.
I printed them out so that we could pick one from that, and you've now got me going through. I can't find the odds. Pick one from the top 5. It's not going to be Rory.
No, he
You don't
can't
like.
close.
You don't like Ludwig.
I don't mind Ludwig. I don't mind Olberg. It was between Olberg and Scheffler for me.
I think we go Scheffler. $6 for Scheffler, I think, is ridiculous value.
Okay, good. Chuck it on there.
We're on Scheffler.
Yep.
Alrighty, enough on-air brainstorms. Let's take a quick break and we'll come back with yours, please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
Got about 4 of them to get through today, so let's rip straight in. Caller, yours, please.
Yeah, go fellas. Hey, just want to come back to why fuck all people are going Super Rugby these days. I can walk into any Premier Club Rugby game for free, have a $5 beers on the sideline, watching a good game of footy with no fucking TMO. It's just a way better entertainment for less investment. Fuck. Who knew? Who knew that people would turn up for a good game of footy where you don't have to spend fuck all? Hooroo.
Look, feel strongly about it, and I can't disagree with him. I go down and watch our senior Premier Club Rugby team down on the shore, and you know, any given Saturday on a nice Saturday afternoon, there could be 1,000 people there.
Yeah.
On the sideline, and he's right. You can have if you're a member there, beers are $5. Get a $5 fucking beer.
Yeah.
You walk to the sideline, have a beer, and you can even get like a burger or whatever for $7 in the clubhouse.
That's all people want.
I know, and that's all people want, and he's right. The footy's great as well,
Yeah, right.
and it's fast flowing. It's terrifying watching it because you're so close and these bodies slamming into each other makes you wince. But it's good. But I suppose because of that live experience, you actually want to go and watch higher performing teams.
Yeah.
But you want that same experience, i.e., make it easy because it's easy. All he's saying is it's easy to walk down, grab a beer, a pie, watch the thing. That just needs to translate to going to Eden Park or the Cake Tin. It just that needs, but at the moment it's not.
No, it's not easy. It's a nightmare. You mentioned if you've got kids and it's a 7 o'clock at night game.
I don't go.
It's a shit show.
I don't go.
Yeah, it's too expensive.
Yeah.
It's like you have to leave home so early just to get there. You don't enjoy it.
Yeah, it's the ease of it, and
The
that's
kids are
why
bored.
club rugby is great. Like you get into it, go to your local club rugby game. The clubhouses are great.
And the no TMO thing, I think, is crucial.
That was good because there's no stoppages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just boom, boom, boom. Everyone's pretty respectful of the referee. You
Yes.
know, it's not like the old days where everyone's just yelling at the ref.
No.
So
And at club level, whoever's the touch judge, who's just one of the local guys from the club, he's going to give his team a couple of calls. He's going to call back a try every now and then.
and senior North Harbour rugby, they have proper touchies.
Oh, do they?
They're trainee referees, yeah. So they're
Oh,
not.
nice.
So it's not the physio from the other team.
Yeah, well, but in most leagues, I would say that it is probably the physio, and he's going to call your winger out of bounds
Oh,
when he's going to score a try.
Totally. Yeah.
But so's your guy when they come to your place.
It all swings and roundabouts.
It's all swings and roundabouts. I think that on the whole, on the aggregate, it comes out even. And even with all the TMO stoppages and blah, 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 they still get the calls wrong. So I reckon Bennett, yep, you're right. I completely agree. It's I can see why. And we need the professional game to swing back that way a little bit.
Totally. Just don't give up on don't give up on code altogether. And this guy hasn't.
Yeah.
Down at his club.
We still love watching the game.
Ah, totally.
It's just there's so many barriers between us and doing it. Another caller here, yours please.
Yeah, g'day fellas. My Black Caps supporters support group T-shirt arrived just yesterday, just in time. This is absolutely heartbreaking.
It's okay, man.
Please help someone hold me.
It's okay, man. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Go and find someone else that has that T-shirt on as well.
Just hug anyone. Just you'll be able. You can almost tell the body language of a Black Cap supporter today.
Yeah.
Because if you lock eyes, you go, and then just like, come here,
Yeah.
come here, and then just you'll see it. You'll see someone. Just go out into the wild and you'll find one.
I was just imagining someone coming in that might work with like an Australian or something, or someone that wants to give them a ribbing.
Oh yeah.
Now's not the time.
No, don't. I've got enough on my phone. I've ignored them all.
Yeah.
Why do you Kiwis suck? It was the first thing I got, and I was like, "Fuck you, Aussie piece."
Fuck off! It's too raw.
Fuck you, disco. That's to you.
Another caller here, yours please.
I blame this loss on Grim Lane.
Oh, come on.
He said he was going to head over to the West Indies if we made the finals, and look, we're over from 2. Anyway, looking forward to rallying around my fellow Black Cap support group members in the community hall tomorrow morning.
Yeah, nice.
Cheers.
He finished it off well, but look, nothing to do with me. I haven't booked my flights.
No,
I
you're
haven't
still
bought
here.
your tickets. I'm still here, so there's no curse. So don't try and stain our campaign with me.
I think we've got one more caller here, yours please.
Yeah, g'day fellas. Hope you enjoyed field days, you city slickers, and your clean gumboots and your cattle sticks.
Yeah, mate.
Hey, what do we reckon the chances of a Highlanders Brumbies final down at FML? Bit of an upset. What do you fucking reckon? Oh, anyway, fuck South Canterbury.
I'll take this one. It's going to be pretty tough given that the Highlanders haven't made the playoffs and do not play at FML Stadium.
Was he meeting the Chiefs? Chiefs, they wanted Chiefs.
Presumably, but
Yeah.
what I would say to anyone that wants to send in a voicemail, because we have copped so much fact checking and so much, 9 and 6 actually equals 15, not 18. But if you're going to be sending in slandering us and saying fuck South Canterbury, make sure you at least know who's in the fucking semi-finals.
Also, there's a lot of issues with that because I think the Chiefs qualified 4th, Brumbies 3rd. So if the Brumbies beat the Blues and the Chiefs beat the Hurricanes, the final's going to be in Canberra.
Which is Super Rugby's worst nightmare.
Absolutely worst nightmare.
So I think on the whole, not very likely
No.
that the Highlanders will be in the final. Maybe next year. I don't know. There's always next year.
I didn't think about that disaster, actually, of the Brumbies upsetting the Blues and then...
If it's Chiefs versus Brumbies in Canberra, that would be the worst. But you also can't go.
Maybe that could break the curse.
You're going to go to Canberra.
That's it. If the final
is
in Canberra, I'm going.
Okay.
100p.
This is reach out airlines, reach out Australian government,
Qantas,
Sterling Mortlock. We need to figure out if G Lane can break the curse. And I think that somebody from Canberra should pay for this because it's in their best interest. Because if you go over there, the track record suggests the Chiefs will lose. But if you're confident that can break the curse, this is a great gamble for someone from the Australian Capital Territory to bankroll us testing this curse. This is it. I'll fucking pay for it. I just want to see it happen.
Okay, well, let's do it. That's a promise. If the Chiefs make the final and it's in Canberra, I'm going.
I mean, it's an away game for the Chiefs either way, isn't it?
Yeah, Blues, if it's up here.
But then you live in Auckland. So what happens there? What are the ramifications of the G Lane curse if they play the final in Auckland and you're there? Because you haven't travelled.
That's a good call.
Look, that's something for us to discuss on Monday if it happens. I really want the Brumbies to win this now. This will be very
You've got
exciting.
a vested interest.
I have a vested interest. All right, let's knock this thing on the head. Enjoy your Super Saturday. Enjoy your sporting weekend. We'll see you on Monday for another episode of The Agenda. And on the same feed, we'll have the ACC Sportsbook with the TAB out later on for all of your punting info. We'll see you later on.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.